So, good evening, everyone. It's a wonderful evening, and it's 3 p.m., 4 minutes. And Business Maverick, it's been sponsored by Lara Capital Management and co sponsored by Amara Raja Group. So, I heartily welcome everyone and panel of judges, George Jacob and Aby Murali. So, Vishnu, just before
Yes.
going into the introduction part, so what do you think uh, the entrepreneurial journey and other ones?
Yeah. Before that, good evening to you all and good evening to you too, Hariharan. I'm glad to be a part of this event, this wonderful evening. I think entrepreneurial journey, in my perspective and in most of the people's perspective, it's like crossing the path with stones and thorns. But though we have that, it ends in a fruitful manner. So I see entrepreneurial journey in that way. How do you think?
Yeah, right, Vishnu. I think that's a really good one. And yeah, like many have come across various stages and they are having struggles. Some might give up at few stages. I
Yeah.
think we'll take some examples what we have in India. Let's not go to the other countries. We have so many who have grown from our home ground. So let's take
Yeah.
Baiju. Like
Yeah.
Baiju Ravindran, he's a first gen entrepreneur, and his idea was to learn, unlearn, and relearn. And I think back then, 2015 or 16, I was planning to do my MBA, and I was just doing my research, and I came to know that Byju's is also providing competitive exam materials. And I was surprised to see what they were providing because it was all on tablet, and they had all the recordings on the screen, and I was like wowed by their amazing way of teaching. So I did a little more digging on that and got to know that their future plan is that they're going to go into villages and small towns where people are mostly non-English speaking, because as of now they have English speaking as their most of their customers. And also, Vishnu, their evaluation stands as on the last report is 10.5 billion, and they will be entering Decacron Club. That is amazing to know about them. And you know what?
That's
Most
great.
of the investors, yeah. And you know what? Most of the investors, why are they investing? Because they say that doing well is equivalent to doing good. And also, Baiju is having Mark Zuckerberg as one of their investors. That is some really good thing because we have a
Yeah.
homegrown grown hero and we are having people from outside. That is really great.
Yeah.
So what do you think about it? So what are your views?
Yeah. Byju's is a leading upfront in the tech industry. I'm very
Yeah.
glad that that's from India. I'm very proud of
Hmm.
it. And in competition to Byju's, I'm bringing in Oyo. See, Oyo was
Okay.
started in 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before that, he did tons of research into starting from 2012.
Hmm.
And just see, just looking back in the past 7 years, the company's net worth is around 10 billion US dollars. You
Oh,
believe
wow.
that? It
That's
was a
amazing.
kind of startup. Yeah.
Yeah.
The idea was simple, giving people the preference of selecting their own rooms at much affordable cost. The business plan was simple. The thing is, he implemented it. He tried to do
Mhm.
it, and he's somewhere as an inspiration to lots of Indians and the younger generations like us.
Yeah.
So it is operating in more than 199 cities in India alone, and it is operating in more than three continents. You see that
Oh,
in
wow.
Asia, Europe, and Americas.
3 continents. That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's the sign of development that
Mhm.
people are expecting and looking to it. So Oyo is another from India. We have tons to put in front like Paytm, PhonePe. We can list it. The list goes on. And stopping with that, let's get going with our program right now.
Yeah. That's good. So you know what? Business Maverick event is completely hosted by our S Club, and I heartily thank Yes Club for organizing this event and giving us a wonderful opportunity to host it. So Vishnu, and also all the participants who are there. So S Club is not just a community; it's a group of students and alumni community from Amrita School of Business, Bangalore, and they just help you. It's becoming an ecosystem by progressing on the startup vision, and also they help you to find investors, mentors, and founders. Right, Vishnu?
Yeah, and do you know that? And here we go. We have our Innovations Lab launching tomorrow from S Club. So, do you know what is an Innovation Lab? Hari, are you stuck with the information that I gave? I hope not.
Hello?
Yeah, you're back. Are you
Actually,
stuck with the information like we are launching Innovation Lab tomorrow?
yeah.
Yeah. See, what is Innovation Lab? This is the place where ideas are transformed to a business.
Hmm.
Even many might have many ideas or plenty of ideas might revolve within a person's mind. Everything would
Uh-huh.
not proceed with the next further steps, right? So we are providing a platform where each and every person can bring in their ideas to transform into a business.
Okay,
Yeah,
that is really great. After this show, I'm just gonna go and just pitch my idea into the innovation lab. Thank
yeah,
you
you
for
can
that
refer to the
information.
website too.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah,
Okay, I think let us not just waste our time.
yeah,
We would like to now let us welcome a wonderful and amazing panel of judges, George Jacob from Big Waves and Aby Murali from Antzlab. Over to you, George, sir. So we would like to know your entrepreneur journey and how exactly it was when you started and like your journey as of now, how you are now.
Okay, thank you, Hari, and thank you, Vishnu. I think it's a great start you guys have done. It's a beautiful program that you have put up. I'm really impressed with the way you have brought this out, the Business Mavericks show, and this with in collaboration with Yes, that is Young Entrepreneurs Society. Really interesting to see that, and IKEA. So, first of all, thanks to all of you, and especially to Amrita who invited me to the show. I'm really happy and honored to be here in this program. Uh,
Welcome, sir.
in fact, it's a long journey, and I started with after my college life with a job. I was in the pharma industry. I spent 15 years there, but all through I was thinking that how long will I do this, and I started. I thought I should go on my own and set up something on my own. So there, some opportunity came by in the packaging industry. I had some friends whom I accidentally met, and I saw how they're doing. So there's a big opportunity there, and so I entered that industry into 1996. That was a time when the industry was just at its budding stage, and there was a lot of them. In fact, in what I went through was we were able to set up the company and build a big business line of business. Getting orders was not a difficulty at all. But then coming with no background of any business management and anything background, we made some mistakes and got into bad debts. We started taking orders from everybody and started supplying, but then collection became a big issue. Not able to manage that. It went much beyond the limits that we could, and I had to close it down in 2001. And then again, I joined another startup company from Hyderabad as their business head and project ambassador. And that was the first smart card based loyalty program. You won't know in 2001 when we said smart card, people are wondering what is a smart card. So,
Okay.
and the program was good, and it took a lot of time to really establish. So I saw what the strength that we had, and I had was to build markets. So I went all around the country and set up the entire structure, and we did very well. In fact, our aim was to beat Master and Visa. That was
Oh,
but then the ecosystem was not as we thought. I mean, as it is today, the digital ecosystem and internet connectivity was a big problem. The servers were not in good shape. And so what happened was when the load of the transaction increased, the system crashed. And then we could not put it in real time, and we had a lot of issues. Then I moved from there again back to there again, it was sort of a, what you call, not on an employment, but more of a joint working with them and on an entrepreneurship type of a model itself. Came back to back again to a job. I joined the company called insurance. I moved into insurance then. So I've been exploring a lot of areas. So I went to life insurance. I was with a company called AMP Sanmar. Incidentally, the day I joined, the next day they decided to sell it off.
Oh,
So then, luckily for me, it was taken over by Reliance Life, the ADA group, and this was AMP was only predominantly in South. Then Reliance wanted to make it real big. So I got an opportunity to go out. I was then heading the training then. So I went all around building up the system, the marketing system. That's why. So from there, I moved to when Canara Bank, HSBC Bank, and Oriental Bank of Commerce, three banks together, joined together and formed an insurance company
interesting.
in 2007 end. I was one of the earliest employees and part of the founder team to be taken there. And then I was heading the Canara Bank vertical. Canara Bank and its subsidiary rural banks like now the Karnataka Gramin Bank, Kerala Gramin Bank, and Shreyas Gramin Bank. So I was managing the business there. And so last year I retired from there. And then again, this bug of entrepreneurship did not leave me. So I thought a few of our friends, we now entered into a new business. So now I have experience of what you call marketing, pharma, then coming to the technology, some amount of dabbling in the technology, then in insurance and banking. So we
It's an
set up
all-rounder, sir.
yeah. So keeping this, and a few of my friends, again, all of them with maybe not as senior as me, and some of them in the same category. 6 of us who we knew each other for long, we set up this. We have now entered into two segments called, one is the fintech, that is financial services. The other is e-commerce. So under financial services, we have tied up with banks to provide last mile financial delivery solutions. So today in the rural areas, we are still finding a lot of gap there's a lot of want for branches or ATMs. Over the last 10 years, the government and the banks have gone all out, and they have with this financial inclusion project. And today we have over 100 crore account holders. But the ATMs and the bank branches have not expanded to that extent. So now, and the government also came up with this direct benefit transfer. So wherein they were transferring all the amounts directly into the accounts of the people, all subsidies and all benefits from them. While people had now money in their account and they had an account and they also had a card with them, they were not able to actually operate. And that's when NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India, came a few years back, and they set up this where private enterprise can facilitate this last mile delivery. And we grabbed that opportunity, created the software, and now we are in that line. So we are able to provide banking facility at rural, remotest part of the country. So we are launched in Karnataka and Andhra, Kerala. These are three where we already launched under the brand name of Bigways. So, and the e-commerce model, we have a slightly different today, though e-commerce is only 5% of the total retail business. While it is really catching up, we thought many of them are still not hooked onto the e-commerce bandwagon because of either technology, because people do not know how to use it and listen, or because of trust factors. So we have come with a new model called an assisted e-commerce, where we have our retailers across the country whom we are appointing. They will facilitate the e-commerce transactions for the customers, who will get the products and service, everything like from the e-commerce, but with a personalized service, like an offline. So it is on taking online to offline mode. So that's the method. So we have launched that, and that's been our journey. We hope that we will do well. And I have a good team of youngsters, especially in the technology team and the marketing. So we are looking, and I'm happy to be with young guys like you. And thank you. Everybody says, and I believe, because if you fail, every time when you have a what do you call a failure, or you can't call it a failure when you have some obstacles coming up. It's only a matter of time that you can overcome. Maybe that's not the right time, maybe it's not the right time, but then you keep working on that, you will keep going. There is. So the other most important thing is, if you do more than what you have to do, eventually you will get much more than what you have to get. And that has worked very well
Exactly.
in us.
Yes, right, sir.
Thank you. Please
Thank you for
continue.
your sharing your story, sir. Thank you for
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Now, let us move to Aby Murali, sir, from Antzlab.
Hello, guys.
hello,
Hi,
sir.
sir. Good evening.
Yeah, hi. Hi, Hari. Hi, Vishnu.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good evening, sir. Hello.
Great initiative. Hi, George, sir.
Thank you.
All right. So the best thing I like is the keyword you have, right? It says yes. That's the keyword every entrepreneur should have. That yes and that positive thought towards life and his entrepreneurship journey, and you have it there in the Young Entrepreneurs Society. All right, that's a nice branding, I would say. And thank you so much for inviting me to the show with IKEA as Business Mavericks. Thank you especially for Jyoti and Gopika, who've been following me up, over calls and calls to join. I wish all the best for all the participants here. So talking about, we are running out of time, I think. So I'll just, back it up in a few words. I started my career like any other entrepreneur, maybe like Mr. George, sir. I started working with some companies. I worked in different continents. Then there's still I had that entrepreneurship thoughts. We were a set of friends. So at the time of studies itself, we had plans to start different kind of businesses, not even IT. We had different kinds of businesses in our minds. So nothing worked out until we just thought of starting Antzlab in 2016. Was incorporated in 2016. I was working somewhere else when I was the company was incorporated. I joined in 2017 to the company, and we actually pitched our idea in a lot of stages, and we terribly failed, and we met a lot of mentors, a lot of mentoring, a lot of venture capitals, a lot of angel investors, and everyone will have different, different way of thinking, and they will give you different inputs. So entrepreneurship is like I may be listening to any one of you. It's your baby. I mean, it's your idea, and I may not be the right judge, to judge the idea, but I may be able to, or anyone in the industry may be able to, like, guide you with your experiences in the entrepreneurship. So Antzlab is doing good for the last 4 years. We have a lot of products. We have pitched in Amrita. We were incubated with Amrita TBI for 3 years. We have come out of Amrita. We have now our offices in HSR. We are doing good. We are now in 4 continents, in Australia, Germany, Qatar, Middle East, and in India. And we have a product which helps the Australian market to do hyperlocal business, to anyone in doing business, any kind of business can get in to an online page, and you do the business well, and it helps them to increase their sales. So yeah, that's all pretty much. I think I am done, and all the best for every candidate here. Don't think this is the last step, or don't get demotivated. There should be a winner, so there'll be a winner, of course, but continue working and you will get there.